And you are live.
Thank you. I'd like to begin the Planning Committee meeting of Akron City Council. I'd like to accept a motion that we accept the minutes of the previously held meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against? Thank you. The ayes have it. I do understand that we have two items that are up for public hearing this afternoon. And the procedures for those public hearings will be, first, let's go ahead and take a roll call. If Clerk Viviano can please do that.
Sure. Busco,
Aye.
Kamer,
Aye.
Connor,
Aye.
Baylor, I can see you, but I can't hear you. I'm going to send you a prompt that's going to ask you to unmute.
Thank you. I don't know why it's doing it, freezing up. Aye.
And Mosley.
Aye.
All committee members are present.
Thank you. Yeah, the procedures for this afternoon will simply be that I will read in the item that's up for a public hearing, the conditional use requests. After that, we will receive a report from the planning department. And upon the completion of that, Clerk Viviano will then swear in those individuals that wish to testify before the committee. After that, we will then open up the public hearing for those who wish to make comments. We're asking that they please provide for us their name and address. We'll receive comments in reference to the conditional use request. After that, we'll close the public hearing portion. We will then open it up to questions from the committee members and then to all of council. And we would love to have you back this evening at 7 o'clock for additional comments. And there will be another conditional use hearing, public hearing. However, the only difference between this afternoon and this evening is the committee will make a recommendation to all of council. We will not be doing that this afternoon. We will recommend either in favor or against, or possibly just a table an item, take time, and we'll give it further considerations. So those are the procedures, okay? And the first item that is up for public hearing today is, make sure I get the right one here, 17. Okay, number one, ordinance amending the zoning map by changing the single-family residential use district classification, U1, H1, A1, use on the property located east of Home Avenue between Jean Avenue and Annapolis Avenue to a retail business use district classification. Okay, with that, I'll ask Mr. Antonucci if you could please provide for the committee and for all present for a brief description. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. Second Ward Councilman's requested that the planning staff investigate the possibility of extending the current retail business use district on the east side of Home Avenue between Jean Avenue and Annapolis Avenue to the east. The additional property is currently zoned single-family residence use district and would consist of 3 vacant parcels, all of which are under common ownership. The current owner of the lots to be rezoned also has an interest in the adjacent vacant retail lot fronting on Home Avenue. This retail lot on Home Avenue has remained vacant for over 50 years. It's only about 100 feet deep off of Home Avenue. Planning staff's of the opinion that the proposed expansion of the retail zoning district is appropriate to create a larger area within which to develop a retail structure and associated parking. The expanding the retail district to include the 3 additional parcels would adequately allow for an attractive tax-generating retail development while preserving the residential neighborhood to the east. Home Avenue currently has 5 lanes in width at this location. It can easily support any additional traffic created by new retail or office use here. The Office of Integrated Development, Planning Staff, and Planning Commission all recommend approval. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that report, Mr. Antonucci. At this time, we'll open up the public hearing portion and ask if there's anyone here that wish, excuse me, on this Zoom that would like to testify before the committee, either in favor or against, if you could please provide for us your name and address. Clerk Biviano, has anyone signed up?
We did have one person signed up, but they have not joined the meeting.
Okay, well, with that, we'll permit that person that had signed up if they would like to testify. However, though, in the interest of time, we will close the public hearing and open it up to any committee members that may have any questions. Any committee members? Okay, not hearing any. I do see Mr. Lombardo's hand up, and I'd like to recognize Mr. Lombardo as this is his ward, and I know he's been involved with this particular conditional use request. Mr. Lombardo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, definitely have been out to the area with the property owner and went over the blueprints with me, and I couldn't say anything more than what Mr. Antonucci has spoke on, which was very well as far as the vacant parcels. There's 3 of them have been vacant there for 30 years or 50 years. So it just adds a more attractive storefronts, if you will, on that Home Avenue corridor as people head north to maybe the Chapel Hill Plaza or something like that. But it's just a great plan for an identical building that's already sitting across the street that houses the liquor store and the Momo house and a golf instruction place. So it will add to this area. So hopefully my colleagues will agree with me, and this is a good project. One concern, just a question really. The person that wanted to speak lives on the undedicated part of Annapolis and just wasn't that computer savvy, but I took his question and I'm sure that it could be addressed with the owner, Mr. DeLulo. He just, because he sits down low, so he just had some elevation concerns. So I'm sure when, in the design of the building, they'll be, they'll account for that, no doubt, with the water, no doubt in my mind. But I just wanted to raise that for him. And other than that, like I said, it's a good project. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Lombardo. Mr. Antonucci, would you have any further comments reference the runoff question that Mr. Lombardo and the neighbor proposed or brought up?
I would say that actually, once this property is developed, and from the plan that I saw, a lot of the parking was into the front. There will be a requirement to have a stormwater management plan approved by engineering. So that will all go through permitting. And so we think that should actually alleviate any of the problems of runoff, going down through those vacant parcels.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Mr. Antonucci. Any further questions or comments on this one? Short of that, we will then, of course, have an additional public hearing this evening and make a recommendation. The second item that's up for a public hearing is, The second item that's up for a public hearing is ordinance authorizing conditional use to establish a type A daycare home at 126 West Lowell Avenue. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee members. Leanne Lane is requesting permission to establish a type A child daycare home at this location. The proposed daycare home, known as Little Pumpkins Patch, would mainly occupy the basement area, plus the kitchen and television room of the 1,600 square foot, 1-story Cape Cod house. Care would be provided for up to 12 children, ranging in age from 6 weeks to 11 years. The days of operation would be from Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and from 6 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on alternating weekends. There would be no overnight stays. No changes are proposed to the interior or the exterior of the house. The rear yard is enclosed with a white vinyl picket fence and also solid wooden fencing. It's a combination of both. Since most of the activities will be indoors and there is solid screening between 2 abutting properties, providing care for up to 12 children should not have a detrimental effect on nearby residential uses. This North Akron neighborhood property is well maintained. The traffic engineer has no concerns with drop off and pickup. Providing quality daycare service is beneficial to the entire city. The Office of Integrated Development, Planning Staff, and Planning Commission recommend approval, subject to the conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Antonucci. I'll ask that we now, if there's anyone here that wishes to testify before the committee, I believe there may be, I'll turn it over to Clerk Viviano.
Yes, we did have the petitioner sign up. Leanne Lane is here. Leanne, can you hear us? Okay. I would like to swear you in first, if you're able to unmute yourself.
Okay,
Okay, can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this point, I'll open up the public hearing. We'll open it up and ask if there's anyone wishing to testify, reference the conditional use request on West Lowell. And I understand Leanne Lane is here. Is that correct?
Yes.
And, the petitioner. So we look forward to your comments. If you could please provide first your name and address. Thank you. I think we know it. We have to.
Okay, my name is Leanne Lane. My address is 126 West Low Avenue, Akron, Ohio, 44310. I come before this committee to seek rezoning of my property so that I can start a type A daycare. I want to be able to provide parents in my community with dependable, trustworthy, and high-quality childcare. And to help my community, I'm looking to hire 2 people that share my enthusiasm with working with children and spending time with children. To provide for my community even more, I support parents in need who are looking for in-home childcare, and I would like to encourage other providers that I work with, that I deal with, for them to expand their childcare business. And at this time, I would like to express my gratitude to the committee for giving me this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne Lane. Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else wishing to make comment, reference the West Lowell, do I have that right? Yes, the West Lowell Avenue conditional use request. Type A daycare center. Anyone else? Any comments? Okay, we'll close the public hearing portion and open it up to any committee members that may have questions. Any questions or comments? I'm not seeing any. Anyone from council? Not seeing any. Very good. We will invite you back this evening, of course, for the 7 o'clock meeting, in which we will again have a public hearing and the committee will make a request. However, I see Mr. Lombardo, who I believe is a ward council person where this is located. Mr. Lombardo.
Thank you. Sorry, I got my hand up late. Yeah, this is a good project for Leanne and I support this. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments, Mr. Lombardo. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, very good. Again, we'll invite you back and thank you for coming by this afternoon via Zoom. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your comments. And with that, we're going to take time on the balance of the agenda. Short of any questions or comments, and we will then, we have no new legislation. So with that, we're now adjourned and I'll turn it over to Clerk Viviano.
Our next committee of the day will be the Public Service Committee, and it will begin at 2 o'clock. Those committee members are Mosley, Kamer, Holland, Lombardo, and McKittrick. Again, that's the Public Service Committee.